Welcome to KetoMealsAndRecipes.com. Last year, while traveling along the Croatian coastline, which is also referred to as the Dalmatian coastline, we enjoyed many amazing seafood specialties of this wonderful country. Today I'll be showing you how to make the Croatian version of Calamari stuffed with pancetta and vegetables. The macronutrient ratio for this recipe is 2.3 to 1, with 10.6 grams of total carbs, 2.9 grams of fiber, resulting in 7.7 grams of net carbs per single serving, which consists of 4 of my stuffed calamari. When you're buying the squid to make the calamari, you will have two choices. You can either buy the pre-cleaned or whole, not cleaned version. I made an error when I was shopping and bought the wild-caught, uncleaned version of the squid. So since I had it on hand, I thought it might be of interest to some of you to show you how to clean them. If you're interested in a tutorial on how to clean the squid, please watch to the end of the video, where I'll be showing you a step-by-step how-to. So let's begin. I have to admit that usually I prefer the convenience of buying the pre-cleaned frozen squid. I would like to point out that buying whole squid is very inexpensive, and this makes cooking calamari a very inexpensive and gourmet recipe. As you know by now, I always weigh out and assemble all my ingredients before starting a recipe, because when I start prepared, I'm assured that I'm not missing any ingredient that might mess up my recipe. And it will actually shorten the preparation time when you're not hunting for individual ingredients. Now to make the stuffing. Preheat your grill on medium, and when the pan is hot, add about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, making sure to coat the pan bottom and the sides. When your oil is just starting to sizzle, it's important to reduce the heat to medium-low. First, add the very small cubes of pancetta, which is actually just cured pork belly, so you can substitute it with plain pork belly, the grated onion, the chopped celery, the grated carrot, and the grated garlic, a sprig or two of fresh rosemary, and the chopped fennel bulb, and your tentacles chopped into very small pieces. Next, sprinkle on the thyme powder and the salt. Then as you cook, toss everything well to combine all the ingredients. As the ingredients are slowly sizzling, toss frequently so that nothing will burn. Also by tossing, you'll make sure that your pork belly or pancetta and the tentacles don't get overly crispy. What I'm looking for with these two ingredients is that they are done but still tender. The cooking time is about 5 to 6 minutes. Another way you can tell is when your vegetables start looking translucent and the pancetta and pork belly is cooked but still soft. While your stuffing is cooking and in between your stirring, take your keto buns and scoop out the soft inside. Cut this bread portion into very small pieces and put your cubed bread into a deep mixing bowl. By the way, the link to my easy keto buns and rolls will be provided in the description below. When your stuffing mix is done, the first thing you should do is remove the rosemary twigs. You don't need them anymore, so you can discard them. Now transfer the stuffing to the mixing bowl with the cubed bread, and now add the ground black pepper. Make sure you pour any of the oil that's left in the skillet into the mixing bowl, and also add the additional oil. The oil has a lot of flavor and healthy fats. And toss everything to combine. Allow your stuffing to cool to room temperature so it's easier to handle and for the flavors to absorb. And as you're waiting, pat dry your squid tubes before starting to fill them. I found the easiest way to stuff these tubes was to use a teaspoon. The stuffing of these tubes was not an elegant process, but this doesn't matter because you'll be so happy with the final results. Just get the stuffing into the tube as best you can. After the first couple of spoonfuls, just use your fingers to push the stuffing towards the end of the tube and also flatten it out a bit. Starting at one end, use a toothpick, weaving it in and out to seal the opening. By the way, you only fill each tube about 2/3 full of stuffing. You have to leave a fair bit of room in each of the tubes because the squid will shrink as it's grilling. First, adjust how much stuffing you're inserting according to the size of each available space in the tube. Repeat this process of stuffing the squid tubes. A bit of advice I'd like to share. When the tube opening is too narrow, to insert a small spoon, I used my kitchen scissors and just cut just a tiny little slit at the side of the squid tube. But keep this cut very small because you don't want the filling to come out as it's grilling. Repeat this process of stuffing each tube until you have used up all your squid tubes. Now to start frying. First heat up your grill pan over medium heat, and when the dry pan is hot, add the olive oil. Then reduce the element setting to low. Place your squid tubes perpendicular to the grilling ridges. This gives it a really nice aesthetic presentation. Also, leave enough space between the tubes so that you can use your tongs easily to turn them. On the slow setting, cook for about 5 to 6 minutes on the first side. Then, using your tongs, flip them to the other side. Cook this side for another 5 to 6 minutes. A good thing to do to ensure your timing is the same for all pieces is to choose the same size calamari for each batch you're grilling. Then repeat until you have grilled all of your stuffed calamari. Remove from the heat and place on a platter. After preparing your stuffed calamari, to serve you can place them on individual platters or place them on a larger serving platter, which will allow each person to choose however many stuffed calamari they want. Drizzle some lemon juice and olive oil on top of each of the squid. To make the presentation nicer, and since you have leftover fennel leaves, why not use them as part of the garnish and presentation? And take a thin wedge of lemon, which you cut about 2/3 into the radius, twist it, as I'm showing here, and place it strategically so it looks nice on your platter. I really hope you give this amazing Croatian stuffed calamari with pancetta and vegetables a try really soon. This will bring out your inner Mediterranean gourmet, and you'll be surprised how really easy it's to make. Enjoy! Now for my explanation of how to clean the squid tubes. I would like to mention that cleaning these squid is really easy and is not slimy or gross at all. First, take a hold of the tube end and the head section where the tentacles are. Hold both ends firmly and twist the head side to side and pull out. The inside content will come out very easily. Next, I use tweezers, or you can use small pliers. Grab a hold of that little hard bit that's just peeking out. This is the cartilage of the squid, and squid have no bones. Discard this cartilage. Then take a hold of the head, and with a sharp knife, cut between the eyes and the tentacles. Depending where you cut, you may notice a little hard bit at the end of the tentacles. This is just the leftover cartilage. Squeeze the tentacles slightly and cut out or pull out this last bit of cartilage and discard it. To peel the skin, just lightly run your knife over the skin, then either using a knife to scrape off the skin or use your fingers to grab a small section of the skin, you simply pull it off. The skin comes off very easily. The wings also come off easily by just holding them and pulling them away from the tube. You also don't need these, so discard the skin and the wings. You must remember to rinse the inside and the outside of the tube under cold running water, and then place them into a clean bowl and set aside until they're needed. But remember to pat dry your tubes before starting to add the stuffing. I hope that this cleaning demonstration has been useful. Thank you very much for visiting my channel. Please turn on your notification bell and please let others know about this channel. Word of mouth is the best way to help us grow. And see you next time, where I will be demonstrating how to make the really easy grilled zucchini spears, which was part of our meal at Canobo Ringo on Hvar Island. The link for the calamari stuffed with pancetta and vegetables recipe will be available in the description below.